Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I am done with these for a couple of weeks. Bit of a general waffle. Excuse me. Not fully over the cold. So a couple of weeks ago, I said that I was going to do this topic. It's modern versus vintage. Now, you know, I prefer vintage. I just want to tell you why. I'm not trying to force my opinion on anybody. Get that right let's get that right in the first place. I would never force my opinion on anybody. I'm not an influencer. You have your own opinion. That's that. This is my opinion. This is, you watch this channel, so you know that I'm a vintage collector, and vintage is the way forward for me. And I'll tell you why. People ask why people like me, us collectors, collect toys. One is like, everybody's got to have a hobby. Talked about that before. I was looking into it actually. I was looking at I was doing a bit of research for this topic. Obviously I can't waffle on for half an hour just off the top of my head. I know I can, but I thought I'd just add a few, maybe not facts, but things I've found out. You can facts on the internet. Facts seller. 65% of people say they keep toys to pass them down to the children or grandchildren. Now, I never kept any of my toys. I think I've got one soft toy. It's the Miami Dolphin that I had when I was 16, 17. So I wasn't really a kid then. And I think I was past toys by then, but I never passed it down to my son. My son got all brand new toys. So that's not for me. I'm obviously at an age now where I'm not going to have any more children. I can't. Basically, that's the solution to that. 50% people say they keep them because they're sentimental. Keeping them and buying them are two different things. I buy them for the sentimental fact, from the nostalgia. Talked about that before. I do. I love that feeling that you get when you buy something and you see. Actually, you don't even need to buy it or handle it or play with it. Seeing a picture of it or thinking, oh yeah, I remember that. But buying it is an added bonus and added nostalgia. Opening it up, and it might be a smell, it might be a feeling, it might be just playing with it, and you're thinking, oh my God, just taking you back to maybe not a better time, but a good time in your life. A good time when it was carefree. It was carefree. No, you didn't have money back then. Now you've got money, you can buy the things that maybe you wanted as a kid or that you had as a kid. That for me, that's why I buy vintage toys over modern toys. I'll get onto this, that they're rehashing all modern vintage toys, so that's another plus for vintage toys for me. But we'll talk about that. 59% say they're probably better than anything you can buy today, which again we'll go on to that, because that is true. That is true. I mean, I'm gonna go modern and vintage. I'm gonna like wait up. We're gonna wait up. And the number one toy people would have kept is Barbie. Believe it or not, apparently that's what it says on the internet. Anyway, toys today, more technologically advanced than toys of the past. Obviously, even like a wooden toy in the past, and some of us are old enough to remember wooden toys. That's probably one of the first things you got as a kid is a wooden toy. If it's like one of the hammers, I remember I'm getting the hammer set. Love that. Didn't do me any good in later life, but made of. Today they're made of plastic. Plastic it's been around since the 50s, just after the war, I think, the 40s, 50s. So plastic has been around since then. It's after the war that plastic became viable, and you'll see my Palitoy tour where Bob talks about celluloid and plastic and things like that. And I've talked about plastic. I think I've done a deep dive into plastic, how figures are made and things like that. I could do, if it's not dirty enough, I could probably do a video on celluloid, and we'll see. If let me know in the comments if you want that kind of thing, if it's not too nerdy. But things today are plastic, batteries, screens, speakers, motorized and everything like that. Toys of the past, some like I said, made of wood, metal, cloth. They're powered by wind up, clockwork, or even gravity. It's one of them things, and it is. Batteries were a thing for me as a kid, but it was like the 50s, 60s wind up, and it was getting phased out towards the 70s, and we're going more battery operated. So really, I cannot say anything about that, because I mean, going about video games, I love my video games. I've also wanted to love video games. I had video games in the 70s. Blip, which actually was wind up. So it was a wind up electronic. It had batteries, but it was wind up as well. So that's a hybrid toy there. Blip. Check it out if you're not seen that. It's very good. I probably could do with getting one of them for my Palitoy shelf, actually. That might be good. Yeah, all toys from the past have clockwork, small movements, but lots of new toys today have batteries, screens, speakers. Other differences between the toys that you love today and old toys of the past are the materials that they were made from, basically. One of the most significant impacts of technology on the toy industry has been the development of electronic toys, basically. So they incorporate computer chips, sensors, other advanced technologies, and they're trying to incorporate, and they've tried since episode 1 to incorporate with the com chip, and in the Star Wars figure they tried to do it with the Last Jedi. Was it Force Awakens? I think it was Last Jedi when they first came out, wasn't it? They tried to do the same similar type of thing as episode 1. I mean, figures have also had pull strings and talking. You know, they've all had talking mechanisms in them, and they've also tried to put gadgets. And I think that's what they're trying to do with toys these days, to try and make them more playable, is putting gadgets in them. I mean, the Enterprise, the Playmobil Enterprise, it had an app that you controlled it with. That was fantastic. That Playmobil do the best work. Lego and Playmobil, unbelievable. They provide children with new and interactive ways to play. Basically, that's what it is. That's what it's about. But I'll go back to the HasLab. The HasLab, the badge came out. That's never been out before. Fantastic, brilliant. They were in a high, Hasbro. The scoops were not great good back then, but they were a bit of a high then. And that I was thinking, oh, brilliant, HasLab. That's the way forward. Crowdfunding, maybe not so much, but bringing stuff out that we've never had before. Now, it kind of went downhill from there. Yesterday, the Razor Crest, which had not had. We've had Razor Crests before. We've not really had a badge. We've had maybe micro machine badges and things like that. I don't think we ever got a model badge, did we? I don't think we ever got one. So to get this for 3.75 inch figures was fantastic, and I would have bought one if one had the capital and two had the space. I don't think I'd want one. I don't think I'd want one today. I'm not really. I like I say, I don't collect modern Star Wars anymore. I buy it now and again. Very rarely I buy it. There's not a lot of modern toys I actually buy. I've been buying the Indiana Jones, and that's finished now. So I'm moving on to maybe Corgi. But having looked at that Corgi car that I got the other day, I think I'm even going to go vintage on the Corgis. So that's so I'm still looking for a modern toy to collect. So I'm going to have a look around. I do like the G.I. Joes. They're exclusives. So yeah, it's an ongoing thing. Is that? So I'm not saying I'll never collect modern. It'd be pointless me having a channel and not reviewing, collecting modern stuff. I've still got a lot of Black Series because I've got them signed, and if I know somebody's going to sign, I will get the Black Series of them to get signed. It's simple as that. It's about I am not collecting them. When they first started, I collected them, and then about 3 years ago, it must be about 3 years ago now, 2-3 years ago anyway, they started diverging with doing different things. Comic-Con things were all right, but they were diverging and doing different packaging, different this, different that. And I think it was the Dr. Aphra that I couldn't get, and I thought, you know what, what's the point if you can't get it? What is the point in collecting these? So I stopped collecting them, and I haven't collected them since. I've bought a few, obviously. You know I have. I do tend to buy them when they're reduced now, and I think a lot of people are, because the price point has gone up as well. I was going into Leeds and buying two figures every time I went into Leeds, every couple of weeks or so. I was buying two figures out of Forbidden Planet, and not even thinking about it, and just buying them and just thinking, oh yeah, I'll get two more, blah blah blah. But now, very rarely I actually buy anything in Leeds. I do try buy my stuff from Gareth now. Try and support your local shops, your independent local shops for local people. Independent. It's difficult sometimes when you see game where they're selling them for £8.99. I know that. So that's what I'm saying. Game have got this deal in place with Hasbro, that multi-million dollar deal where they can sell the stuff for pennies compared to what they normally are, £25. What are you going to pay, £25 or £8.99? And like I say, it's not the ones that, I mean, the last wave, the What If wave, I think it was, I would have bought all those. But I'm gonna wait and see if they come down in price. And if they don't, I don't get them. The first wave, I didn't get all those. I would love to get all those. I think there's only one wave that I have actually bought, the Black Widow wave. And that's the only one I have ever bought a full wave of. Separately. Yeah, so it's not just Star Wars, it's not just Black Series, it's Marvel Legends, it's also I just if I see something like it and it's cheap enough, I'll buy it. So that's my modern collecting. But going back to HasLab, they started doing things that had already been out. They bought 3 HasLabs out at once. They bought the Ghostbusters backpack, the Proton pack, which I would have loved, but that was available on Amazon. You could get custom versions. You could buy it already. So that's one thing you could already buy. You didn't need to wait 12 months on a HasLab. The second was a Rancor. The second was a Rancor, which is funny because you could already get a Rancor. Not a Black Series one, a vintage one, but it's a Rancor. And I will go on to the third one that came out, the Sky Striker for G.I. Joe, for Action Force, whatever you want to call it, which was a reissue of things we'd already had. You can still get. So what I did was, I bought a Rancor and I bought a Sky Striker, and I never did the video. I was going to do the video on should I buy the HasLab ones or should I keep these vintage ones. Now I think I paid what, 120, 130 pounds for both of them. Obviously the Sky Striker wasn't complete. I tried to get as many parts for it as I could. And I think I sold it for like £150 in the end. It's something silly. Like I made a silly offer, so I thought, you know what? I'll before I made the video, I'll sell it. The same with the Rancor. I think I paid £50 for it, if that, and I got £100 for it. So I would much preferably have vintage. Another example, Millennium Falcon. I would much rather have the original, not to scale, well, obviously not to scale, Millennium Falcon, the vintage 1978 one. That Matt Boudreau designed. I'm looking at it right now. I can see it on the wall there. Absolutely fantastic. It's probably one of the best. Well, it's definitely one of the best toys ever made. Not just a vehicle. It is. You can fly it around like a vehicle and TIE fighters and everything, but it's a playset as well. Was there ever a vehicle that was a playset before that? Let me know in the comments if you can remember. There might have been, there probably might have been, but I go back to designers as well. They don't make designers like that anymore. That is just, the Millennium Falcon is just a masterpiece. Yes, I say it's not to scale, but it's just brilliant. It's like the X-Wing. That always bugged me because it wasn't to scale, so I always got the model because it was more accurate to the movie version. But obviously played with it, got the Scout Walker and everything. It's just everything that Kenner did back then was unbelievable. So Kenner versus Hasbro as well with the designing. Again, I've talked about this before, but they used to design things back in the day. Used to design things. They used to make them out of wood, out of wax, out of whatever they could get hold of. They used to make a prototype and say, look, we're going to make it like this. A kit bashing, using the adventure people for the Star Wars. I wonder who has those adventure people. The original adventure people they kit bashed to make look like Star Wars figures. Imagine having those. I've always wanted to buy the adventure people and do that and kit bash them in. But yeah, designers. There were designers back then. Those designers were terrific. They loved the jobs. They knew what they were doing. You've got the Hasbro designers now. It's all computerized. It's all computerized, which is not a bad thing. It should make it quicker. It doesn't. It still takes them a year to design anything, to make anything, which baffles me. But you know, but they don't. I'm not saying they don't care. They don't have as much love for what they're doing. It may be because they're not making toys for kids. They're thinking, oh, we're making these for bloody man babies. You know what I mean? They're thinking, oh, bloody. We're going to make this. They're going to mourn anyway. But if they put a bit more effort in, we wouldn't bloody mourn, would we? I give them the due. Like when we went to the panel celebration, me and Paul sat there and we loved everything that was coming out. Even the Star Wars stuff, I thought, oh, that's fantastic. And the sculpts. I even asked Patrick and Chris, I said, your sculpts have got better. I says, is it better computer generated, computer software and things like that? Well, yeah. So it is computer software. It's better computer software. Which, like I always said earlier, the sculpts and the designs back 10 years ago, if that, maybe 8 years ago, they weren't the best. But SH Figure Arts were doing absolutely fantastic work. Yeah, if I could get hold of SH Figure Arts easier, I'd probably collect those. But they've moved on. They moved on with the distribution because people were moaning about distribution, so they moved on with distribution. And then the sculpts, they listened to us and they did the sculpts. So yeah, they do listen to us, and I just wish they'd put a bit more, not effort, because I know they work hard. I know they work hard, but I just wish they'd put a bit more love into it. Not make it all about. I'd say they not make it all about money, but they don't seem to want to do the things that will make them money. Anyway, I'll stop moaning about Hasbro. So for me, it's generally going to be vintage. It's just that nostalgia hit. I had that many toys as a kid, and it's nearly every month I see, oh yeah, I remember that, yeah. I remember I had that, yeah. And still, things still pop up, and it's amazing that things still pop up and think, oh, I remember that. And just that feeling, that, yeah, absolutely brilliant. There's a couple of things on eBay I'm looking at, and they will just looking at them on the listing, and I'm thinking, oh, look at that. So I'm gonna have to pull a trigger on them sometime. It's probably something I probably wouldn't keep, because I did that last year. I did it before Christmas. I got some of the Tank Command. I got Tank Command, Tank Battle, things like that. I never had as a kid. I always saw the adverts on them, and I always, I'd like that. But like I say, with Christmas for me, it was always quantity and not quality. That's why I never got Millennium Falcon, never got an AT-AT. It was always, I never usually got anything Star Warsy for Christmas. I think I got an X-Wing for Christmas. I think that's the only thing, the X-Wing I got for Christmas. I remember the Scout Walk, and my mum just bought me it because I've been a good boy. So yeah, I've never really been a big item wanter at Christmas. I just wanted lots of little things, and I can buy them now. I mean, I'm looking at this now. This I've just got this now. It's lovely. It's brilliant. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. It's come built. I wanted to take it apart and rebuild it and put the lights in it and things like that, but it's just not grabbing me. If I've got all the Aston Martin, got Corgi Aston Martin, all the vintage ones, but I think there's like the little Corgi Juniors one I want, the Huskies one, and I tell you what, there's a couple of James Bond things that I want. Is the Aero car and the Range Rover with the horse box. Those are the two things I'm really looking for at the moment. And those I had as a kid, I would love to get. I would rather have those than build that. I'd love to get that broken down, build it back up again. But it's not going to give me the same nostalgia hit as, said, the Corgi Aero car, which I had as a kid. I've ordered a couple of James Bond cars. There's one, the Mustang. I never had the Mustang and I want that. I've ordered it. It's not in a box, I got it pretty cheap. And there's the Toyota as well, which I never had. So I want to get that. I don't want to get all the James Bond cars, because that is probably the first collection I ever had, the Corgi James Bond cars. Just for the gadgets, and again the design. The Corgi design in that Aston Martin, I go on about it all the time because it is absolutely fantastic what they did in such a small car. Crammed all those things in it. And I said it with the review of the Aston the other day, that there's just nothing in it. There's nothing in it. And again, the designers have just been lazy and not put any love into it. So there we go. I'm gonna leave you there. I'm gonna stop moaning. I'm just looking at my James Bond cards there. I've got rid of my Enterprise. I'm gonna put my James Bond Corgi cars on top now. I'll sort it out anyway. There might be a few different Corgi cars going up there. The TV, that's something I want to do with the TV and movie diecast cars. I want to get them. I want to get most of them. And again, the vintage ones mainly over the modern ones, because they don't seem to be. I'm going to do a thing about Corgis. I'm going to do a thing about James Bond Corgis. I'm going to think about Corgi itself, Corgi toys, and when it went from Wales, from Swansea, I think it was Swansea, and they were building them in this country, in Wales, in the UK, and they were brilliant, and they put all the love and design, and they were building it for kids, not for adults. I think that's the difference these days. And they started making them in China, Hong Kong, China, and they've never been as good. The plastic base, you've seen the review anyway. So yeah, that is my breakdown of why I collect vintage over modern. Never say never, good James Bond reference there, over modern, because I will buy modern. You know that. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to buy modern. And don't you stop buying modern, because toys need to be bought. What will we do without toys? I won't have this channel, would I? Might be a good thing. Right, I'm gonna say please like this video. Please do like the video. I want to get as many likes as I can on this video. So the algorithm knows that you want more of these type of thing. And if you are not subscribed, I think I've got 45% at the moment that's not subscribed. I've got 55% of people watching that are subscribed. Thank you. So that 45, please subscribe. Because I love you all. And you love toys. And that's all I talk about. Mostly. See you next time. Thank you for watching. May the toys be with you.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
Never say never. James Bond reference there. About